Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a tier list that I said I would do once I completed all of the Halo campaigns. I completely forgot I actually said all of this, and I never got around to actually making it. So here I am to deliver. It's a little late, since we did Infinite back in November, and I think it, did it run into, no, actually I think it was in October and it ran into November. Yeah, I think that's what happened. So it kind of ran into the November montage sort of deal, the campaign when I officially did it. So yeah, this has been well overdue, but I guess it's better to do it this way anyway because there were so many videos coming out at once at that time. You probably would have missed something like this, probably. So this is it. Now I'm not ranking the multiplayer. I'm not ranking anything. Ooh, sorry. It's a little loud. Let me change that real quick. Uh, uh, I usually keep it at around 70. That's about good. That should be good. I'm still getting used to this new mic. It's a lot louder than the old one, so my apologies. Anyway, um, so I have all the games here. I'm gonna be going over all the main games, all their campaigns, basically. I'm not going into multiplayer, not going into Forge, just a single player campaign sort of deal, right? Um, Now I kind of want to do this in order. This is all kind of all over the place, like in the correct orientation for the timeline of the games. So I believe the first one was Halo Wars. I think that's the very first one. The second would be Halo Reach, then Halo 1, and then it would be Halo 2. Halo 2 ODST was in between the timeline of Halo 2 and 3. Then it would be, of course, Halo 4, 5, Infinite. No, actually, Wars became before Infinite. So yeah, I think that's right. I think that's a correct pattern or whatever. So yeah, we're talking about the story, talking about the enemy types, uh, going over just going over everything with the campaigns really, with their story, the music, the fights themselves in the games. Now it's gonna be a little challenging to kind of do that one with Halo Wars being a little bit different, but uh, I'll kind of just the combat's really not gonna be too much of an influence of the game. Just the story, the characters, the music, the atmosphere, like the maps, if you will. Just all of that is what I'm kind of going over with this tier list. So let's get right into it, shall we? So starting off with Halo Wars 1. So I think I said this before with my friends, but despite Halo Wars not being an official game made by Bungie or 343, made by Asamba Studios, it surprisingly looks really well. The game is actually really like it looks like Halo. It feels like Halo, you know. Uh, and it's made by Asama Studios, which unfortunately I think went under after the game launched. So it kind of sucks. So, but yeah, so Halo Wars is kind of its own thing, and I think for all intent and purposes, despite these disadvantages of not being made by the same creators of the rest of the games on this, like on the title here, like Halo Wars is its own thing, you know, wasn't really touched by 343 or Bungie, so it's kind of it's just its own thing. But despite that, despite a smaller company taking their hands on it, I have to say it looks really good. It looks really good. I think the cutscenes are some of the best cutscenes of all of Halo. Like when you compare it to like the vast majority of these games, I would say that Halo Wars has some of the best killing cutscenes. They look so good. Especially in like the outer space shots. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so amazing, honestly. Um, the music is it's pretty good too. The music is really good, despite them not being able to use the music from the other Halo games. They actually captured, like I said, they did a really good job for capturing the feel of Halo. Um, so I think the music was pretty good. Not the best, but it was really good. I really enjoyed the music. Not really that many soundtracks I can think of that I don't like. I usually catch myself listening to them every once in a while when I'm just, walking around, like outside or at work or something. Um, so yeah, their music slaps. It's pretty good. Um, the characters is where it might drop a little bit here, as I guess really there was just not that many characters to begin with. Not that much chemistry with each other. I mean, really, there's only like, God, there's not that many characters at all, really. Like, I think it's a little bit more than Halo 1, I want to say, but it's not by much, because there's Cutter, Anders, Forge, Arbiter, Regret, Jerome, uh, I mean, Alice and Douglas, but they don't really play, like, a role at all, like, in the cutscenes anyway. Hardly. They play, I mean, they have a couple cool cutscenes, but they don't say anything. Uh, but they're pretty badass. Like, they're pretty badass, their fight scenes that they have. Um, I do think the characters do fall a little bit, though. In comparison to the rest of the list, it definitely falls. I think for the campaign itself, though, um, I think it. Well, let's talk about the maps real quick before I jump into that. So the maps are also really good. Maps are really good for Halo Wars as well. Um, I want to say that the maps are definitely way more creative than Halo Wars 2 maps. Um, no doubt. Halo Wars 2 maps are really not that good in my opinion. So, as far as things go, I think Halo Wars is gonna have to go. Mm, I think for the campaign, I want to say it's not the best. I think it's just really average. I think that's what I'm gonna say. So this this is basically the average, I'd say. And I think Halo Wars did all it could do, and they delivered. They deliver on the ladder, despite not having a AAA company, making the game. It honestly does really good and performs and sounds and feels like Halo. The characters are just not that. They're not that interesting. I love Cutter. I love Cutter. He's a badass. But like, I don't care much for Anders. I don't think. Just doesn't really add too much for me. Arbiter was kind of cool, but he was just an asshole the whole time. Like, he just kept slapping that one elite around for no reason. He just hated that guy. So he was an asshole. And then Regret, definitely the weakest version of Regret when you have, well, shit, I guess technically he's only in one other game, isn't he? Halo 2. It's the only other game he's in, right? Was he in Halo 3 ODST? I don't think so. I think he was in like one cutscene, but yeah, I have to say average though. I think that's fair. Halo Reach. So their characters, on the other hand, were they were pretty good. They served the purpose of what Reach was about. The downfall of humanity, practically. Um, My boy George, though. Let us never forget about our boy George, and really all on the Noble team. They all really went down as heroes. Um, but as far as things go, the maps are they're not they're not bad. I think they're definitely weaker than like Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3. Definitely a lot weaker in the creativity side, I'd say. Just not that interesting, really. I don't know what they could have done with it, but I don't know. It just, to me, it really does not feel good. Like, a lot of the maps I kind of dread even going on. Well, maybe not dread. I don't think that's the correct term. It's just bland. It's what you expect, I guess. It's just really boring. Especially the one mission after you just lose George, and I forget which mission it's called. It's the night. It's the mission before the New Alexandria. I think it's like Odious or something like that. But it's so the vast majority of the mission, you just like look at grays and whites, basically like shades of coloring of the like buildings and stuff. It's just really boring. I always thought Halo Reach had the most boring structures of any Halo game because most of it is just gray or white. Um, the Covenant sections are what really just like open up and just really give you that breath of fresh air you desperately need. But other than that, like it's really the maps are not too good. I don't think. Um, the characters do their purpose though. I like all the characters. There's not a single character I don't like. Um, yeah, it's just heroic deaths though all around Halo Reach. Like holy shit. The music is pretty good. I like the music. It's definitely not Halo 2 or 3 level, but still good. Um, as far as like the combat, I didn't even talk about combat for Halo Wars. Uh, but the combat in Halo Wars, I mean, you've seen how many videos I have on Halo Wars, so you don't even get like I love the combat for those games. Halo Reach, I like a lot for the combat as well. Um, I think the one thing I don't like though is the fact that on Legendary you do just get slapped once in a melee fight and you die, which doesn't make any sense. Like not just by like a sword, that would make sense. No, like a random elite could just be holding a plasma rifle and just kick you in the mouth and you're dead. You just can't really do much about that. So it makes like close quarter counters really suicidal in that game, despite a Spartan being able to pretty much be able to tank an elite. Like, and realistically, by the lore, can single-handedly kill a brute in hand-to-hand combat, which is ridiculous, but it's true. Um, honestly, Halo Reach, uh, for its story and everything, I had to put it A tier. I think the downfall of Reach was just so tragic. Like, the saddest part, one of the saddest parts of all of Halo, was knowing that George died for fucking nothing. Pretty much. I mean, yeah, sure, he killed a super carrier, but as soon as that happened, fucking thousand of them showed up. It's just like every single time you thought you won the battle, you take out the Spire with that giant frigate of yours. The frigate takes out the Spire. Immediately, this fucking frigate's destroyed. You you go into the Corvette. On the space station, you go into a Corvette and you're about to take out the engines of the Corvette, and then all of a sudden your ally frigate that's with you blows up. Every single time you try to do something right for the planet, it all ends in vain because it's the fall of Reach. It is such a tragic story. It just really does pull on the heartstrings the first time you play it. It's just like you feel, despite you being a super powered super soldier, being able to kill everything left and right, you feel so fucking powerless because you can't fight all these motherfuckers. They're killing everyone on the planet, and you are just sitting there just having to watch it because you can't fight all these ships. I mean, there's just so many ships on their own. The ships on their own could just single-handedly destroy the planet, no problem, and they do that eventually. It's so sad because everything you do just ends in vain. Even delivering Cortana, you don't get to live after that. It's like, bro, that sucks. Like, you think that Noah Six gonna get on that Pelican and live to fight another day. Nope, he has to stay and die just to take out a Corvette, just so, or a cruiser, just so a Pilavama can even get lift off into space. It's like, it's so tragic. It's such a tragic story, honestly. Um, really pulls on the heartstrings the first time you play it, for sure. Um, and how even like New Alexandria, like, you know, you successfully, you know, save like all these people. Like, even like sometimes you get like a mission with like Buck, you know, like from ODST, and even that, like at the end of the mission, you lose Cat, despite the mission seeming like, well, you saved a bunch of people. Well, guess what? Oh, you saved all those people? Well, guess what? Fuck Cat. Bam, she's dead, bitch. Like, that's what it says to you. Every single time you pull off a mission, the game slaps you across the face and shows you who the boss is, and it's the Covenant. The Covenant are the boss in that game, and they don't give a fuck about your feelings or who you care about. They don't give a damn. They are out to murder you. And that's what really gets reached an A tier for me. Halo 1. Now, I'm not really rating the anniversary stuff. I'm just kind of putting those in their own thing because it is still the same game, just higher graphics. But I don't really put the graphics into play here, because if I did, I'd put this at F. I mean, don't get me wrong, the anniversary graphics does look good. It There's a lot of reasons why it doesn't work, though. There's plenty of videos on that. The big thing is really hitboxes in the terrain itself. Like, a fucking tree would be bigger than it actually is, than it actually shows an anniversary. Meaning that, like, if you're hiding behind a tree in the anniversary graphics and you shoot a tree, well, guess what? You're trying to shoot around the tree, but you end up shooting an invisible wall, but it's not actually invisible. It's just invisible in the anniversary graphics, because the original graphics, that tree is actually a lot thicker than it shows. So it's just a bunch of weird shit like that. And there's like I said, there's a lot of videos on it if you want to go into detail with that. But I'm not judging the graphics too much at all. So, but yeah, so Halo 1. So as far as maps goes, I'd say Halo 1 has some of the best maps in all of Halo. Just the huge open like areas. Really just make you feel like you're just in a unknown environment at all times. And you're always like, as a new player, you're always just like wondering what the hell is even going on here. Like you're going through all these corridors and you're opening up into like different areas, you know, and you're just seeing like this huge valley of something, you know, these huge 400 structures, these huge mountainous terrain, and just you're just like thinking the whole time, like, where the hell are we going from here in the story, you know? And that's the thing about Halo 1, just the mystery really gets to you. The characters, there's not that many of them, but it is the start of the series, so don't expect that much from it. And it's really not even about the characters in that story. It's really the ring itself. The ring itself is telling a story, and you get to find the most insane like turn of events that happens in that game when you first meet the Flood. It's just this terrifying opponent that can quickly squish your Marines like glass. I mean, and take them over and turn them against you. I mean, what's worse than that? You know, um, Halo One definitely has a lot of mystery. It has a lot of just adventure slash exploring. Even in, like, a lot of times I find myself just exploring the map just because it's so large. You can't go through it your first playthrough and actually not miss anything. You're gonna miss something out of those big maps for sure. Um, which is why Halo One I definitely have a lot of respect for. And the vehicles feel so heavy. Like, I just like the weight of the vehicles in that game. Like the Warthog feels like it weighs like 40 tons. It's ridiculous. Uh, like you fucking hit a rock at like 2 miles an hour. It's like makes like this loud ass bashing noise. It's so funny. Um, the weapons in combat pretty solid for its time. Uh, and the music is really killer as well. I love the music of that game. I think I like it more than Halo Reach. I think I do like Halo 1's music more than Reach. It's just so iconic, and just that the opening theme of that game just sounds amazing. So I gotta place it in A tier, I think, for Halo 1. Halo 2. Oh my god. What a game, dude. Honestly, Halo 2, none of the other Halo games, like, when I'm looking at the top 10 of my top favorite games of all time, I would say I don't think any of the Halo games really make it, but Halo 2 definitely does, I would say. Um, I love, I freaking love Halo 2. Um, Halo 2's music is, and this is a hot take. I think Halo 2's music is the best of the series. Halo 3 has some good killer tracks as well, but Halo 2 just, I don't know. Halo 2's music definitely kicks the bar up for me, for sure. Um, Halo 3 Black Tower though, that's a really good track. I like that one, but there's a couple really good ones in Halo 3. But the soundtrack for Halo 2 just, oh my god, just so good. I still listen to it like every day, practically. I love that music. Um, the campaign, the storytelling of it, absolutely not even like this. This is also a hot take too, but I personally have the opinion. I know people say Halo 3 is their favorite campaign, but for me, Halo 2, Halo 2's campaign is way, and I do mean way better in my opinion. I think Halo 2's in my opinion, I think Halo 2's makes Halo 3's campaign look like a little bitch by comparison. Halo 2's campaign just so fucking good. Um, the fact that you get to play as the villain, you know, Arbiter, you get to play as Chief, you get to see both sides of the story. It has one of the longest campaigns in the whole series too, with 13 missions or something like that, and where most of them have like 10 or like I think Halo 4 had like 8 or 9, Halo 3 had 10. No, Halo 3 had 9 as well, I think, something like that. Uh, But like all of them had either like 9 or 10. Halo 2 had a lot. Um, the Great Journey, the Uprising mission, the Grave Mine, just so many good missions. Even the Regret, every mission is so good. Um, I love playing Halo 2. I had so much fun playing it. I was so sad when it was actually over. Going back through that game was like, it was so good. It was so amazing. The combat of the game was amazing. Just added on to the Halo formula, and just gave you a lot more sandbox weaponry. Really, that's all it really did. Just added, gave you dual wielding. Uh, yeah, I think the campaign, for all intents and purposes, I think it has a lot of things the best. The best campaign, the best music, the best. Maybe not the best combat. I think that might have to go to either 3 or Reach. But I think Halo 2 definitely is up there. It's living up there. If you couldn't tell, it is by far S tier. I will probably say nothing else on this list will go to S tier. I will say that right now. Because Halo 2, for me, hits the bar so much higher than every other game. Halo 2 is like a juggernaut by comparison for me. I would say that Halo 2, like I said, if there was a if I had a top 10 list of all my favorite games, I don't think any of the Halo games speaks more to me than Halo 2. Halo 2 would probably be like one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. Uh, Whereas the other games are probably like in my like 20s or 30s. So, yeah, not even close, really. Halo 2 is just so fucking good. I love it. Halo 3 ODST. Um, I'd say very underwhelming. I like the music. I like the characters. They're pretty good. I like the music's atmosphere. Um, I like the characters, but the problem I have with ODST is the whole Mombasa Streets missions. I kind of wish they were cut away from the game, to be honest. Like the whole thing with Rookie. Now, don't get me wrong. It's really interesting to have that like free reign, that open world experience, I guess. But the problem is like there's nothing to do in it though. Like ODST has nothing to like. It's a free open world game technically, but it has nothing to do in it. Like the nighttime on Mombasa Streets, there's nothing for you to do. Uh, Really, there's nothing for you to do. The silencers don't do shit. Like the weapons that you get, I was hoping that the ODSTs would be a lot squishier. To be honest, I feel like I could still tank a lot of hits for an ODST, and there's so many medical packs everywhere. It's hard to ever get low on health. And on top of that, I was hoping that the silencer and the silenced pistol would like actually have that effect in combat. But it doesn't. The silencers don't do anything. Like it doesn't. Like as soon as you shoot a single shot, it's just every single enemy in the entire planet knows your exact location. And what's harmful about that whole situation is the fact like I was kind of hoping that an ODST would be restricted or more limited in how to use other weaponry, but you're not. You can just pick up any weapon in the game and still use it perfectly fine, you know. And to me, it's just kind of stupid because like I was hoping for more of like a because you have like these drops on the map, like you have these like little garages that open up, and you could get like sniper rifle ammo, you get silencer ammo. I was hoping you could like actually utilize that, but there's no reason to because number one, the silencers do jack shit for damage. If you're playing on legendary or even heroic, every single enemy, even a grunt for God's sake, seems like a fucking juggernaut compared to you. If you have a SMG or a pistol, I also go for headshots with the pistol, but even then, a brute would still tank like 4 clips. So even on heroic, and if you're playing on legendary and mythic, dude, those guns aren't doing shit for you at all. So your first instinct is to instantly grab a plasma pistol or a plasma rifle and just use that instead. Like the 2 guns that they give you at the beginning of the game are so dog shit. You just don't ever want to use them, and they also have like such little ammo. Like the SMG only has like 200 magazine or rounds or whatever. The pistol only has like 72. and it does jack shit for damage. So it's like, I feel like if they were to utilize the tools of the ODST a bit better, like where the silencer could actually do some damage, or actually have the silent thing on it, or maybe even like, I don't know, like a different gun entirely that's better for an ODST. Like, I don't know. The ODST should have had a whole arsenal of weapons like they could use instead of just a shitty pistol with a shitty SMG with a silencer on it. It's just, not that good. Um, and the music, the characters are okay, but I feel like the campaign for it, I was so bored the whole time, pretty much. There's a couple good missions on there, but it's really underwhelming. I feel like the game's really overrated, personally. Uh, I don't think it's like bad. I just think it's a major disappointment because it just copies everything from Halo 3 for one, and it doesn't really do anything too unique with it. Like, yes, you get this whole open world experience, but like, unless you're RPing, it's not that fun. I only use it for like an RP or something, and even that gets kind of boring after like a couple hours. I don't know, like, I just don't. I just wish because there's nothing like in the nighttime objectives. You're going from point A to point B, and that's it. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything unique. You're not like go over here and kill something. Go over here and save someone. Go over here. Like there's nothing like that. It's just go from point A to point B, and there's no point of getting the like, little armory things because what's the point? I mean, sure you can collect the little logs around the map to get videos and shit, but like again, like a lot of the aspects of the map, like the little resource crates, like they're completely useless because they just give you those shitty weapons, and the moment you get a plasma pistol, the moment you get a plasma pistol, you're not going to go back to those weapons. I could guarantee you that because they don't do anything for damage. And like I said, I wish the ODST was a little bit squishier. Like I honestly feel like a fucking tank at times as an ODST. I feel like I just get like a shit. Like I feel like I just get hit a lot. I feel like I could get hit a lot in that game. Hell, I feel tankier in ODST than I do in Reach, to be honest with you. Um, I feel like Reach makes me feel a lot less tanky than an ODST. I wish an ODST would die a lot faster, to be honest, to make you really want to, and actually have like the silencers do something that can actually not alert every fucking enemy in every block. I kind of wish you could actually go with a more silent but deadly approach, but instead you're practically fighting the same way as you would as a Spartan. So that's kind of why there's a lot of things I don't like about it. It just doesn't really give you that feeling of ODST, in my opinion, because like I said, I feel like a tank. I feel like I get hit so many times, and just keep going. And there's so many health packs on the map, so yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that. Um, decent for everything else though. Like the character is decent. Uh, I like Buck. I like Dutch. But yeah, I don't know. I think this one uh for me personally, I'm gonna put it at D tier. I think it's much worse than the other four titles up here. And that's why it goes down there. If there was a top, like I said earlier, with the top 10, top 20 for the rest of the games, like the rest of the games were top 20 to 30. For ODST, it'd be like top like 50 or 60. That's how much of a difference it is for me personally. I just think it doesn't do much. It's just very underwhelming. It just was not performed well, in my opinion. Uh, I don't know. I know people love that game. I love the atmosphere. I will say that's the best part about the game, the atmosphere. But it just doesn't give you that feeling of an ODST. I still feel like I'm a fucking tank. I don't know. And like I said, you still fight the same way as a Spartan would. So it's just, yeah, there's a lot of things to it. Halo 3. Oh, buddy. So, the music, my second best in the whole series. Second favorite in the whole series, my bad. The vehicles are probably my favorite in the whole series, for sure. I like Halo 2's a lot, but Halo 3's is even better. The chopper, the prowlers, fucking badass to use. I especially love the prowler. That prowler is so cool. Just getting a whole squadron in there. It's like a... I don't think it's as good as a Warthog, but it just looks so cool. I love the looks of it. The Scorpions look badass. The Wraiths look badass. I love all the vehicles in that game. The vehicle sections are some of the best in the whole series for sure. With the longest sections as well. Especially that mission where you're fighting 2 scarabs. Oh, buddy, makes my balls explode. I tell you what. Yeah, I think Halo 3 is pretty fucking good. As far as the combat goes, I think combat is the best it has ever been in Halo 3. With the gadgets and all that, I think it's the best of the whole series. Has some of the best. It just has such a good dance of gameplay. Has such a good dance with it. I don't know. It's so much fun to play. You're not fighting elites anymore, but I kind of like prefer fighting the brutes anyway. Because elites are kind of a pain in the ass at times. Because you can't really have that many elites fighting with each other like you can with brutes. Because if there was like, let's say if there's like 20 elites together, dude, you're fucked. You can't do anything to that. Like, elites are so much better at fighting than brutes. And in Halo 3 kind of shows that. Because, like, in that one room where brutes are just, like, throwing Marines into a wall on Crow's Nest, you know, you open that one door and you see, like, brutes throwing Marines at the wall. Like, if there was that many elites in a corridor section like that, you'd be fucked. There'd be nothing you could do. Especially if they're, like, as good as they were in Halo Reach. Yeah, you're dead. I don't even care if it's on easy. You're fucked, my guy. You're dead. You might as well give up right there. I mean, they're practically... They're so good. Like, elites are so much better at fighting than brutes. But I love fighting brutes a lot more. It's just because I just like seeing their armor come off. I like seeing the vast numbers, really. Like, just all of those going, Roar! Just trying to charge your position and stuff. And then the cheat that comes out, just wanting to challenge you and everything. It's like, it's pretty fun. I love it. Yeah, I think Halo 3... I want to do this as well. So, whichever game is, like, right here, like, if I did this, that means I like Halo 1 more than Halo Reach. But, in this case, I'll place Halo 3 here, and I'm going to do this. I think Halo 3 is my second favorite Halo game, so far on this list. And then we go Halo Reach, Halo 1, and then Halo Wars, and ODST. Alright, let's say that for now. Halo 4. So this game, very... It got shat on by a lot of people. Do I think it's that bad? No, I do think the maps are not that good. There is some maps that are really good, though. Like the jungles, I love the jungle maps. I like the missions with the Mammoth. That was pretty unique. I like the Pelican mission was kind of interesting, but it was underwhelming as all fuck because all you do is kill 3 like 5 phantoms, and that's it, and kind of just go from point A to point B with it. So it's really lame with the Pelican. Uh, a lot of the Forerunner stuff was just really boring. The first mission, the forest missions, were all really good though. And the Mammoth mission was really good. But when it comes to like all the Forerunner maps and stuff, like I like the Forerunners and all. Don't get me wrong, but I hate how it's just so boring looking. They did a lot better job with Halo Infinite because Halo Infinite has like the bronze, the blues, the white colors. You know, they have like all these different colors. Meanwhile, in Halo 4, it's just silver, blue, silver, blue, silver, blue, silver, maybe orange. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so boring seeing 2 color variants the whole game, basically. Halo Infinite does it a lot better. When you're in those 400 structures, like I said, there's just so many more colors. Like there's like the bronze and copper colors, like the dark steel, the silver, the white, the bright blues. Like that, they do a lot better with Halo Infinite's shit. And they also have like way more cooler designs than in Halo 4. So the maps are really not that good, apart from a few missions in Halo 4. The gunplay is pretty good. I like the gunplay. It's not that bad. I like being able to zoom in with weapons that you weren't able to before. Um, a lot of good weapons. A lot of new weapons are pretty cool. I like the sticky detonator, the rail gun. Those are pretty good. The saw. Oh, the saw makes me want to bust. I love that gun. The 400 guns, I could care less for. I like the suppressor thingy, but that's about the only gun I like. But it's not because it's not because of anything unique about it. It's just because I like to have a new. I like seeing a new type of like alien SMG sort of deal. Um, but yeah, I think as far as the characters go, I liked Lasky. I liked the chemistry between Cortana and Chief, despite what other people might think. People still think that Chief and Cortana's thing together was this over-tuned, like Master Chief was like overreacting. It's like, dude, Master Chief has had Cortana for well over what 5, 6 something years. I don't even know how many. I don't know how many years it's been, but it's someone that's. It's not like it's not like a normal like a relationship with someone where it's like you live with them for 2 years. No, she was in his head for 2 years. Always they're always talking to each other basically, and that was the only person that actually made Chief feel like a normal human being. Because any other like any superior, anyone that like he was with Chief, they always treat him as just a soldier. They never asked they never treat him as a human. They never treat him as anything other than a soldier. And Cortana gave him that open feeling as a human, you know? And his duty was to defend her. So not only when she died, not only did he lose his best friend, and not only did he lose his best friend and his guidance basically to be a better soldier, but he also failed as a soldier because he failed to protect her at the end, you know? So it's just it's really upsetting, and it's just like people say it's like overreacting. It's like honestly, I felt the opposite. I felt it was under dramatic, to be honest. Uh, I mean, considering all they've been through together. I mean, hell, Halo 3, like the whole time, it was about getting Cortana back, pretty much. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't see where it was over dramatic. The maps are pretty boring. The music was not the greatest, but it was pretty good. I like the music. Uh, As far as the music and everything goes, I do think Halo 4 goes about uh I'll say just here. I think it's pretty average. I think Halo 4 is definitely underrated. I think Halo 4 actually was amazing in its own way. I just wish they did do things a little bit better with Lasky and, well, just the characters in general, because a lot of the characters other than Lasky, Chief, and Cortana were just really bad. The Didact was the most uninteresting character ever. I mean, he was interesting, but I hate how they made him like a Sith Lord, practically. I mean, Chief is like practically powerless to him. Like, he really is. You can't do anything to him. He could have killed him, Chief, at any time. So it's kind of... I hate battles like that, because it's just really hard to believe that the villain wouldn't just kill Master Chief right there. I mean, why wouldn't he? You know, he could have just... He didn't have to choke him out. He could have just dropped him, and then that would have been it. Dead. You know? So I don't see the point of why he didn't just kill Chief right away. But, it is what it is. So, Halo 5 Guardians. This game was so good, dude. Like, oh my god. The music is just killer, dude. The story makes total sense. It's like, it's totally not just jumbled mess together, dude. Like, oh my gosh, dude. You know, I can't even fucking... No. No. Let me take all that back. Let me tell you the truth, alright? Halo 5 Guardians, I'd even fucking record it. I wouldn't be able to record it. I'd be either too pissed off or too just bored out of my mind to even play it. I never completed the Halo 5 campaign. I don't think. I might have, but I was so bored of it. It took me like 3 months to finish a campaign, I think. It was the most boring campaign. Like, I've completed Halo 4's campaign in a single night. I was so hyped for it. I loved Halo 4's campaign. I thought it was really intriguing. Halo 5's was the complete opposite. Halo 5 was total dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. Made no sense. It wasn't even about Chief. It was about this fucking Locke character. I don't care about Locke. I want the Chief. Or Arbiter. You know, I want Chief. I want Arbiter. Lasky. Lasky's not even fucking in it hardly. What the fuck? My boy. Like, what? Why? Lasky's a fucking badass character and you just gotta do him like that? No. Fuck this game. Horrible atmosphere. Horrible gameplay. Well, actually, gameplay is not too bad. The gameplay for fighting is actually probably some of the best it's been in the shooting aspect of things, anyway. The fact that you can actually zoom in with, like, an AR and everything like that. That's all cool and all. And the jump jets and jetpacks and all that bullshit. That's pretty cool. That's the only thing it has going for it, though. The campaign has nothing in it. It's one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. It doesn't make any fucking sense. There is no connection from start to finish at all. There is none. It's like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. And Chief has his fucking vision about Cortana, and no one questions it. It's like, yeah, they totally believe it. It's like, there's no conflict with the team, the characters. There's nothing. I don't even know how you could call this a story. It's just events that randomly fucking appear, like in some dumbass, like, open world game with random events popping up everywhere. That's what Halo 5 is. It's not a story. It's just random events getting thrown everywhere. It doesn't make any sense. It's fucking dog shit. Yeah, Halo 5 is bad. Just absolutely bad. I couldn't even record it. I'd probably rip my fucking throat open if I play that game. Honestly. Yeah, so bad. Halo Wars 2. So, the atmosphere, not that great. The atmosphere is not that great in the sense of maps and everything. The music is it's good, but it's not. It's nowhere like even close to Halo Wars 1. I like Halo Wars 2 a lot, but as far as the campaign goes, I really don't think it has that good of a campaign. I think the campaign. I think the okay. Halo Wars 2 has a very actually I'll say I'll even go as far as say this. I think apart from Halo 2, I think it has the strongest opening of any Halo game. I think, like I said, besides Halo 2, I think it has the strongest opening. Um, I think the ending is also pretty. Well, actually, the ending's a cliffhanger, isn't it? I think the ending. I think I'm referring to the last mission for actual gameplay. Because you get like all these troops. I had like an army of like 200 troops. It was fucking ridiculous. It was fucking badass too. Just having all these like condors, vultures, scorpions, grizzlies, marines, hunt like hornets, nightingales, all this ODSTs, all these things all together, just like riled up as a huge ass army. And there's like 4 scarabs coming at us. We're just blowing them up like they're fucking nothing because we just outnumber them 100 to 1. So that mission was really good. There's a couple of good missions on there, but I would never play. I'll probably never play the campaign of it again. I think the Nightmare mission was pretty good. The Nightmare missions were good. But they're still not anywhere near as good as Halo Wars 1, and I don't think they're as good as Halo 4. So honestly, and the music's not that great either. I don't ever listen to the music really. I think it's C tier. I think Halo Wars 2 can fit rightfully in C tier. I would place Halo 2 a lot higher in terms of gameplay, but in terms of campaign itself, it's not really that good. I like the opening of it. The opening has, like I said, the opening is so fucking strong, but the middle just sucks, and it ends at a cliffhanger. So, yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about Halo 2, but the cliffhanger for that game is fair because you technically do get one satisfying ending for at least Arbiter, because Arbiter, they just now discovered the opening for, well, not the opening, the arc. They figured out the arc's existence. So you see what they're gonna be doing in the next game, basically. So I guess technically it's a cliffhanger, but really, I mean, they just beat the boss, and surely they're gonna do something. They're gonna get like geared up and all that shit, sort of deal. Um, so I guess it's kind of a cliffhanger, but not really so much on Arbiter's side. It's a more satisfying ending after taking down the big bad brute. So yeah, I think in that aspect, I think that's pretty good. I think the Halo 2's campaign, and the Halo 2's campaign just did so many things right. It's really hard to criticize it, to be honest, for me. Halo Infinite. So the soundtrack sounds amazing. It has a lot of the old style music, but it has like they have like better microphones and shit now, and they have like I don't know. It just sounds a bit different. It has like a stronger. You can tell the instruments are picking up a lot better in that game. It sounds really good. The music for that. Um, it's kind of hard to judge this one as it's not technically a complete campaign. I don't think. But as far as it goes for now, I think it whoops ass. I think it does what ODST failed to deliver on the ladder, in my opinion, and just like it actually does what ODST wanted to do on a much higher scale. You get this massive open map. You're able to drive these cool ass vehicles. Like vehicles feel very good in the game. I think the vehicles feel the best in the actually. I'll say this as well. I think the Scorpion in that game feels the best of any game. It feels the best of any of the games. It has the right speed for that type of game, and it has good durability, has very good fire. It feels like it has a lot of. It feels like the armor and damage is so much higher than any other game. Like, I actually feel like a juggernaut when I'm in a Scorpion. I love it. Uh, which is crazy too, because that game also has like the strongest hunters and the strongest brutes of any game. And yet the Scorpion still feels like a fucking tank. It feels like a behemoth just strolling around. So the gameplay is really, really, really good. I'd say probably, I want to say almost the best gameplay, honestly. Um, uh, the characters, uh, people don't like Echo. Some people love Echo. I'm kind of in the middle. I think he's fine. I just don't think he's really that insane. Did shut up? My echo's going off apparently. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like ec- oh, that's why. I just now realized because I said echo. Uh, God dang it. Okay. Well, we're just gonna call him that guy for now. So that guy is okay. It's just decent. Um, Master Chief definitely has grown in character quite a bit. For once, I feel like that's the big problem I had with him a lot of times, is that he just never really grew as a character. Uh, didn't really ever learn that many, like, he never really learned lessons that well. I mean, he wasn't like a bad learner, like, he definitely learned, but there was nothing for him to learn, I feel. Like, he never really grew that much in character development throughout all the games. Apart from one thing, don't trust Guilty Spark. Really. Um, I definitely think he'd grown a lot more human slash uh just a more respectable soldier, really. He really kind of tells like what he's really fighting for, you know. And even the enemy he has respect for. Uh, as he just sees them, he doesn't see him as an enemy. He just sees him as another soldier, practically. Um, so I feel like the chemistry there. Um, yeah, the music's great. The atmosphere, the map. I thought I'd get bored of the map, but I really didn't. The map is really good. The 400 structures are amazing. The boss fights, the first time we actually get boss fights, and it's actually really good. Halo 2's boss fights were not that good. Halo 2's boss fights were really not that great. Tartarus is okay. Well, I mean, I guess to be fair, Tartarus was okay, and the Heretic Leader was okay. They're pretty good boss fights. But when it comes to this game's boss fights, this game definitely has the best boss fights in any Halo game for sure. Um, I think um I don't really know how to place this one. So for Halo Infinite, I definitely think it's definitely better than 5. It's definitely better than ODST. Definitely better than Wars 2. Better than 4. Better than Halo Wars. I'm thinking A tier, but uh So it's definitely an A tier. I want to say it's better than Halo 1. It's I want to say it's better than Halo Reach. Well, I don't know. Uh, in terms of actual gameplay, the atmosphere, the music, yeah, I think it is better than Reach. When it comes to versus Halo 3, though, that's a toughie. I kinda, uh, it's kind of hard because Halo 3 has a lot of like I have a lot of nostalgia for Halo 3, so I'm trying not to put that into consideration here. Um, I want to say Halo 3 is worse than Infinite, but at the same time, Halo Infinite is just not complete. That's the main problem with it. Like, it kind of leaves off with a cliffhanger at the moment because there's just the content's not all there yet. So that's kind of my problem with it. I feel like for now, I think Halo Infinite's got to remain as the third best. I think the first one is definitely Halo 2, and then Halo 3. I think Halo 2 has the best story, the best music, and the best um some of the better ground combat. In terms of vehicles, definitely Halo 3 has the best vehicles in terms of like the huge open field battles with like multiple wraiths and just all these allied forces and all these enemy forces just going to town on each other, just really satisfying. So they have those very satisfying big battles. Halo Infinite has the best exploration, the huge open world experience. The weapons are really good at that game. The feeling of that game is really good. Master Chief actually looks and feels like a freaking tank. Um, I love Master Chief's appearance in that game the most, by far. Like, the other ones don't even come close. Even Halo 2 Anniversary looks really good, but doesn't even come close to Halo Infinite's. Halo Infinite has the best looking Master Chief, by far. He just looks like a big Chungus dude. I love it. So, I think that's good to wrap up everything. I'm trying to look at the list, see if I think anyone else goes anywhere. I think I'm happy with this list, to be honest. Yeah, Halo 5. I'm not ever reviewing that game again. I'm not playing that game again. I fucking hate that game. That game can burn in hell for all I care. That game sucks. Straight up, dog ass. I can't stand it. I can't even stand looking at it hardly. Just no, just I can't. I can't go back to that shit. So don't expect the game. Don't expect me to go through that game at all, because it's probably not gonna happen. Also, I'm like 50 years old. I'm like bored out of my mind, and no other game to review. Then maybe I'll go back to it, but probably not. I probably instead just like trim my toenails or something and put that on a video instead over that, because that'd probably be more entertaining for me. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.